Hey everybody, guess what's broke down? It's the 4 to 8N again with more problems. Now I don't blame the tractor, it is just old. So here's the problem we're having today. It'll start and it just won't stay running. More specifically, it will start and run for a little while, a few minutes when the motor is cold. And then it'll just fall on its face, and then once it's warmed up it just won't start. Now I troubleshot the fuel side first. It is a brand new rebuilt carb, getting good flow to the carburetor, to the intake, so I don't think it's that. It does have the old points and condenser ignition system, so that's what I'm leaning towards next. And instead of really going in too deep and replacing it all piecemeal hoping I get the right thing, I'm just going to put an electronic ignition on it. It needed to be done anyway. So even if this doesn't fix the problem, at least I'll have an upgraded ignition system and we can check that off the list of possible problems and move on to the next thing. So here's what it does currently. And she dies. So I'll be perfectly honest, this is the only machine I have ever ran or operated that had a point system. So I will not pretend like I know everything about this or know much at all about this. Another reason why I'm just skipping the tinkering on it and just switching to a better system altogether. I got the tried and true Pertronix igniter electronic ignition. I also got a new coil. I don't even know if I needed the new coil, but these aren't very expensive, so I figured let's not take a chance. As well as the distributor gasket and ignition coil gasket set. Now it's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go through this step by step per se because there's lots of good information out there already. I'm just going, this is more, if you're having the same problem, this may fix it, because there's not a whole lot of hey, this is my problem, what's the correct step to fix it videos out there, at least not that I can find. So maybe this will be helpful for somebody. So first step, we're going to pull off our, well, I'm going to disconnect the battery first, then we're going to pull off our distributor wires or spark plug wires. We will unbolt it from the block and then pull the cap or the coil and the distributor off of the tractor. Pulling my old sparkulator wires off, and that doesn't look so hot. Of course, I didn't get the cap with my rebuild kit. I hope Tractor Supply's got one. Alright, I think you could probably take the coil off by itself first. In fact, it might fit out a little easier. Let me pull it off. So it's just got that little bail wire holding that on. And then let go. Okay. So really, it's pretty simple. You've got your 2 mounting bolts to the block. You've got your 4 distributor wires. On top of your coil, you have this wire that goes to the ignition, I guess. So you pull that off. So it's 3 bolts or 3 nuts, 4 wires. It takes just a few minutes. The gaskets on these all look pretty good. One thing that I do know just from reading is that you want to make sure to identify the direction of your rotor bug. It's pointing at like almost 6 o'clock. So this, I'm gonna look at this later so I remember. Back looks kind of gross. Stuff's falling out on me. Anyway, so remember, they say, where this goes. Since I broke this, that might be repairable. Maybe not. If they don't have one at Tractor Supply, I might try to get away without it, but we'll see. So I'm going to take this home and put it on the bench, clean it up, run by Tractor Supply. I'm obviously going to need a new spark plug wire as well. And then we will take this apart and put the new kit on. I mentioned needing another spark plug wire, which got me to thinking, I don't know which spark plug this is. It does look like they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 on the cap here. I don't know if that's a pocket knife or a casting mark, not sure. But that begs the question, which cylinder is number 2? So I've got the multimeter hooked up here. We're going to do a continuity test. If you're not familiar with what that means, it's where you take your 2 leads and you put one probe on one side of the wire. In this case, this is the wire I know I need to replace. And then I can take the other lead and touch the opposite end. And if I get to the right plug wire, it'll beep. So I've gone through them all, and I've determined that this is number 2, because when I put it in the end of the other side of the spark plug wire, it beeps. So I know which one I need to replace. Apparently it goes forward to back, cylinders 1, 2, 3, and 4, just so you know. And hell, that may not even be right. I'm just guessing there. So we need a spark plug wire about yay long, a distributor cap cover, and a beer. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to go into detail, but here we are. So here's what we've done so far. We've taken the 2 bolts out of the block that hold the distributor to the tractor, taken off the cap, distributor cap, which was broken. I don't think that caused the problem. It looked like, just based on when I pulled the wire off, there was no plastic inside, so I think this was broken before the previous owner just didn't want to spend the time or money fixing it. So we took the cap off, took the coil off, pulled it off the tractor. So here's where we're at. Note, obviously, the position of the rotor bug. We're going to save that. There's a little retaining clip inside here that we're going to try to get out. Not as much tension on it as I expected. Note the flat part goes towards the timing bolt. Oh, actually, I think I need to.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, buddy. Save this. Yes, sir?
Mom said that, did you know that Mom threw away your toothbrush?
Wow, are you serious?
Okay, well, we already have 2 new ones, so I got the blue, you can have the pink.
Remove the condenser, 2 bolts. I got a new toothbrush. Which one did you say is mine?
The pinky.
I have a pink toothbrush and you have a blue one?
It's great, actually.
Wait, what color is it?
It's like teal, or I don't know.
That's yours or mine?
Mine.
So what color's mine?
Pink.
I thought you said mine was bluish teal.
No, that's mine.
No, I thought yours was green.
No.
Will you make up your mind?
The green one is mine. The pink one is yours.
2 bolts. Condenser is removed.
Are you talking to yourself?
No, it makes a video. Duh. Remove the timing nut. think we saved the timing hardware. Okay, kind of funky, a little crusty and dusty in there. It's gonna take a good cleaning. The bushing though, doesn't have a lot of slop in it, so that's actually pretty good. I don't think we'll need to replace that. So that's a plus. Something's not broken. All right, so the instructions say to remove and save the shim washer. I don't see a shim washer anywhere. Then it goes on to say that they're not actually necessary. So I'm assuming at some point in the last 70 years, someone before me has taken the shim washer out and tossed it. Then it says to check the advanced mechanism here for any wear. It doesn't really say what indicates wear. Everything looks pretty good. One thing I noticed that I found interesting is it is stamped. Let me see if I can. It is stamped from a 9N. I found 2N and 9N parts in my 8N. I'm starting to wonder if my tractor is actually an 8N or if the part that says 8N is actually just from another tractor. I don't know. So this looks okay. So the next thing you do is find the vent hole on your distributor, and I'm starting to think maybe I don't have one. Turns out I don't. So I get to drill a hole. There should be one here. There's not, so I got to drill a 1/4 inch hole for my wires to come out. So, oh look, this distributor's from a 9N. Whatever. Alright, we're going to drill a 1/4 inch hole real quick. This may or may not blow your mind, but this thin aluminum drill is very easy, so that's that. It's going to give our wires an exit. At least I think the one wire that goes to the ballast on the dash. Do you call it a dash? Anyway. Okay, drill a hole, got it. Clean the distributor, make sure no metal debris is left. Okay, so it's reassembly time, I guess. So this is where you clean everything. So I'm gonna jump off camera for a second and get this cleaned up a bit. All right, I let this soak in hot soapy water in the kitchen sink for about 1 beer minutes, and it didn't really do anything. It was probably naive of me to think that dirt that's twice as old as I am is not going to come off with some dawn and wishful thinking. So we're going to get it good and dry and roll with it, because it is dirty, but it's that old dirt. You don't gotta worry about that so much. So we took our new breaker plate. The instructions are bad. It says made in USA on the box. But I'm telling you right now, the person who wrote these instructions was not made in USA. And that's okay, but it's a little deceiving because the English is not good, the instructions are not very clear, but I'm making it through. So here's your igniter, here's your new breaker plate. You take this short black wire and the brass screw that or bolt that it gives you, and you run it through this white plastic nylon insulator. Can you see that? So that's what you want it to look like. That was not explained well in the instructions whatsoever. Okay. says to use build lube or grease. I'm just gonna use some dielectric grease. And I know this is more for electronics, but the store I went to was really hurting for anything worthwhile. Okay, so once you got this drilled and clean, you have your new breaker plate set up with the igniter bolted on and your short wire ran through the nylon insulator. The next step, I guess I kind of skipped a step. Because we can put the distributor shaft thing back in the housing. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, now we take the breaker plate. Oh wait, do I apply more lube? I don't know. We're gonna put a little lube on it because, yeah. Hey, there's the washer. The washer's on there after all. I guess that's where it goes. Gonna roll that too. Okay. So put the breaker plate back in after you give her a little love lube. This is called the magnet sleeve. That goes on before. Come on. Dummy. It even says it goes on before. I just don't trust the instructions now. They have deceived me. So the magnet sleeve goes on the shaft before the breaker plate. And it says it should be like hard to get on. Oh, there it goes. Now do some of the lubey lube. I hope I'm not misleading anyone. I kind of trying to interpret these directions. Apply a very thin layer. Set the adapter plate over the shaft, press down firmly. Turn the plate, lining the slotted tab on the plate with the timing stud hole on the distributor. So it says a very thin layer. Okay? Well, that's not a thin layer. I got thick stuff everywhere. Good night. I went heavy on the lube. I've got it everywhere. That doesn't help. Okay, whatever. I guess this is the, they refer to this as the slotted tab. So if you're looking at it this way, this is a slotted tab. You want to put that on the right hand side of the distributor if you're looking at it, or where the timing bolt comes through. Okay, and that makes sense because then our red wire, igniter wires, ballast wire is going to come through that hole. That makes sense. So I apologize that I'm not working through all these steps on camera. I have to kind of just guess my way through them and then hope that it's right. But I think we got there. The instructions are just misleading. So on the timing nut, it comes with a bolt that goes through the side of the distributor through this little rectangular plate that previously attached to a threaded spot on the breaker plate like this. Well, the new setup brings a bolt, a carriage bolt with the flat side that you run in through the inside, the flat side going down onto the new breaker plate, the bolt coming out through the previous or the original metal rectangle thing, and then you put the nut on. I mean, these instructions give the Harbor Freight sawmill a run for its money. And you know how I feel about that if you've seen that video. So that's that. Get it centered with this tab it says to start. Then you put the snap ring back in, which is this big kind of C-shaped clip. The flat side goes on where the timing nut we just installed was. So that gives it clearance. I hope you can see that. See that? That's how the clip goes in. And then you run the red wire out through the hole you drilled. In some cases, you'll have a vent screen that you can just pull out and you don't have to drill the hole, according to the instructions. I wish they had given me like a grommet or something to put over that hole, or I would have made a much smaller hole. So if you don't have a grommet, you could probably get away with a, I don't know, 1/8 inch hole, 1/16 maybe. So now we can put the rotor bug back on, and remember, you want it to be in the position that it was in when you took it off the tractor, because this will correspond with where the pistons are currently situated in the engine. So this is important. Now you can be off this much or this much because you've got a 180-degree range of motion here, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine was like this, but if it's anywhere in here, you'll get it lined up. Just don't do it like that. So that's good. Obviously you want to make sure it turns freely, and it does. Harbor Freight, what's it called? Tractor Supply did have a distributor cap. It was the last one. It's just as junky as the one that was broken on there before. And we'll put the gasket on. Not a super high quality gasket that I got here. And I'll probably be taking this back off when we install it on the tractor, but snaps into place. Snaps into place. Baling wire comes forward. Okay. What it should look like on top. And our new coil will be making contact with that brass bolt we ran through the nylon insulator, and that contact there and the distributor cap, positive and negative, I guess. Don't quote me on any of this. I'm guessing as I go. Now don't need a gasket. We're just going to put it on for giggles for now. This gasket doesn't fit real well. There we go. Hope this fixes it. We'll see. Alright, so tomorrow we will bolt this back onto the tractor. We will reattach the ignition coil wire to the top of the coil, and we will run this to the right hand side of the ignition ballast, and that's it. And then we'll put the spark plug wires back on, and I'll talk about my spark plug fiasco when I get there. So that's all for now. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of weeks, and here's the update. So we got the electronic ignition and the new distributor cap put on. Like I said, Tractor Supply had that cap. It was like 20 bucks. Everything seemed to be fine. I had the busted spark plug boot, so I needed a new one, right? Well, so I found one. It was hard to find one to match this. I don't know where it went. I went to AutoZone, O'Reilly, somewhere to find a spark plug wire, and they could not just sell me what I needed, but I went ahead and made it work. Oh, it's this one here. So this is what they had. I had to make that guy go into the back like 10 times to bring out all these different spark plug wires rather, to find one that kind of looked like the one I had. So the one on the right there's the one, the style it came with, and then this was the one that they sold me. This boot was like this long, and I had to cut it down to let it fit on that distributor cap. This isn't like the low suppression wire that the electronic ignition kit calls for, but I figured, dude, it's got to work, right? So I bought that wire for $1. I slapped it on. The tractor wouldn't start. Couldn't figure out why. And then I remembered I forgot to put the spark plug wires back on the other side of the distributor, or the cap. And I thought, oh, dummy. So I went around and I go to put this one on, and then I realized that I had this problem all along. So this is right where, so it's like that goes in the distributor. This end went back to the spark plug. This was rubbing against my water pump pulley. So you know what I think was happening all along? Was when the motor was cold, or before the motor warmed up, this was cold, and you know, we were getting a little bit of spark jumping across there. And then as the tractor heated up, I'm trying to get my shadow out of there. As the tractor heated up, this became more pliable, and I would lose that spark. So cold, you know, the plastic constricts and gets tighter, and then when it gets warm, it expands. And I think that was my problem all along. I probably could have just put a new spark plug wire on there. So look at your stuff. My points were probably fine. But like I said, I've been wanting to upgrade for a while, and I think I found my problem. So I decided, well, so I had the wrong spark plug wire and a bad spark plug wire. I just got a new kit. So they sell this on Yesterday's Tractor. This is supposed to be for electronic ignitions. They sell it as the high performance front mount distributor wire kit. So we're going to put these on. I've never made my own spark plug wires. I really thought when I bought this, this was like a fully booted set. I wouldn't have to do that because I don't have that tool. And then it gets here and I have pieces to put together. So we're going to see if it's that big of a deal. I'll let you know. I can't stress enough that this is not a how-to video. This is more like a reality episode where you watch me bump through problems and I tell you about how I screw things up even more. So this was the spark plug in that was on there. And this is what comes with the kit. I'm supposed to do something with this guy. That wind, I need to find something to put on that. It's so hard to make videos here because the wind is always blowing. So I'm going to put this glove on you and make like one of those windsock things. There we go. Oh my gosh. Hopefully that helps with the wind. But you look ridiculous with the sock hanging off you like that. Okay. So I think what we do, we got to take a measurement. So we'll make this one number 4. So this will be the longest one. And I won't have to cut it. So I think you want to trim back this first layer of insulation. Maybe? No? What in the hell is in there? The spark plug wire is full of string. What? I mean, I know I'm not a mechanic, but I expect spark plug wires to have like stranded copper inside, not string. What is this, like some sort of nylon fabric? What in the hell did I buy? High quality. How does that conduct electricity? Maybe, was that black part supposed to stay on there? I don't know. All right, lucky for you guys, I make mistakes for a living. Apparently this little black, what I thought was insulation, is a graphite housing, and it's supposed to stay on there. So cool. All right, so we'll leave it on there, one less step. So one thing I do know for sure is you want to put your boot on first. I'm going to put this on now just so I don't forget. I was probably about to forget on that last one. So since I already cut the insulation off that other one, I'm going to just make that one of my shorter cables. Boy, these need heated up or what? A little spit on it. Y'all take it easy. This is a family show. You didn't work it on there. Come on. All right, you guys just want to see me do one. Let's just see if I can do one, and then I'll skip the video for the rest. I thought this was gonna take 5 minutes. I've been fighting this for 5 minutes already. All right, which side do I crimp? I think this bigger side is the one you crimp. So you fold this graphite over. Did I mention I don't have the right crimpers for this? Huh. And then I think you just squeeze the snot out of it. So I have these. These are like, I think these are like coax crimpers. I figured I would try them just because they're all I have laying around. I don't know if it's even gonna fit. Bad idea. Bad idea. I think I need to get it tighter first. I'm gonna pinch this. Hey, I need that stuff. I'm gonna pinch this down a little bit. Okay. I'm skeptical about this graphite thing. You know what I mean? Okay, that seems to work better. I wonder if I can just use my wire strippers to get this tight. I mean, kind of working as I inch it around. Hang on, this might work. So don't let me talk you out of buying the proper tools to do the job, because there's something to be said about having the right tools. And I probably would have bought the right tools, except the only thing that persuaded me to try it with what I had was that I couldn't get them shipped here fast enough for today. I've got like 6,000 projects and I've got to move on. I need this tractor to run. I've got like 15 trees to cut down and I need to move them logs. I'm trying to clear the spot for the castle so we can start the dirt work, and I can't let a spark plug wire slow me down. So that's why I didn't wait. That's why I'm being impatient. Not really impatient. That's why I'm just kind of forcing the matter. Let's see if this coax tool will crimp that now. Okay. I don't know. Let go. Hey, let go. I don't want to smash the hell out of this thing. Shoot, did I break it? Okay, well, I probably overdid that. But it is not gonna come off. Let's pull the boot back over it and see how it fits on the distributor. Okay, so the spark plug connection that we made actually fits in there really good. So you're probably asking yourself, you're just gonna leave that spark plug wire sitting there against that belt? No, I'm not. But I'm also not gonna run through that tube again either. One reason, because I don't think I need to. Two, if these spark plug wires are not actually good enough, I don't want to spend the time monkeying with that just to have to undo it. And I will make sure they're properly secured. But keep in mind that if you are wanting to run through that chase, do not put your end on yet. Fish all your wires through, and then crimp them once you've done the run through that conduit there. Will save you some headache for sure. All right, the new spark plug wires are on. I did apply a dab of that dielectric grease to the end of the plug wire. I think it's ready. I have not tried to start it. So I take that back. I did try to start it the day I put the single new spark plug wire on, when I found out that I had a gaping void in plug wire 3. So it hasn't ran, but I think it should. So this is a true cold start. If this doesn't work, I'm never going to wear this vice grip garage hat again. So cross your fingers, Derek. I didn't mean that. I'm going to keep wearing this hat. I left the key switch on. Now my battery's dead. Alright, I stole the battery out of my brazier, put the tractor battery on the charger. Now we're going to see if this thing will fire up, or if I have to go to the tractor store today. I'm not talking about Tractor Supply, I'm talking like tractor dealership. I put on the sparkulator light bulb, and if that thing doesn't flash when you hit the start button, it means you're not getting fire. That was the problem. That's what I suspected, because, well, I knew I was getting fuel, and it just made sense that I wasn't getting spark. So I tested that I had power to my coil, and I did. So that didn't make sense. So I just popped this old boy off here, the coil. I literally just took it off, looked at it, thought to myself, I'm gonna put this back on. I did that, didn't do anything, put it back on. I don't know, it just felt weird, and I hit the start button again, and this thing fired off so fast and easy, it spooked me. I'm gonna show you. Where's my button? That ain't it. Okay, I'm pumped. And I'm done. No more. She's gonna run great now. You're not gonna see me post another I fixed my tractor again video in 2 weeks. That's it. Dang, I'm about to get back to work. Thanks for watching. See ya.